Hey guys, and welcome back to Old Guy Farmer's Single Player Challenge. We are in year 3. We have finally made it. We are down to the last 24 episodes, and this is day 1 of spring. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Alright, so we still got snow on the ground. But we've got a fairly warm temperatures predicted for today. So we'll just have to see. We don't have any. Alright, we need to. Ah, yes, I remember now. We need to go over to our greenhouses and take care of getting them some water. I remember last stream we ended with filling them with manure. In fact, we may not have. I think we got manure in all of them. I'll have to check. If we didn't get manure in all of them, then we have just a few in the back we need to put in. Hey Kyle, how are you doing? Let's go ahead and swing on back here and just check and see the manure level of these. Well, I guess we got 2 without manure in them, so we know we did not quite fill them all up. That's some pretty deductive reasoning there. We don't need the mini map. So we still have frozen ground. I expect that'll go away at some point in time today, because I think the forecast was showing that we were supposed to have temperatures in the 50s. So once that sun comes out, it might warm up pretty quick. We're also going to need to check our sheep out and make sure that they are as productive as possible now, because now is when they are going to be making us some money. Alright, so we got those taken care of. Let's go over here and get up into our Mac and hook up to our water tank. bet you we're going to run out of water, but we'll go ahead and see how much of this we can, how many greenhouses we can fill up. So Kyle's asking if I've heard from old guy. He hasn't put a couple videos up recently. He's been a little quiet over on Discord, but he's been around. I've seen him playing Farm Sim and World of Tanks. I think he's just taking a little bit of a break from putting out videos. We're definitely going to need to fill this up. We're looking at that. Let's look at our forecast. We got 2 days of rain in spring so far in the forecast. 4 days of sun so far, 1 day over cloud. It would be nice to be able to start cutting grass on day 5 of spring. That would be really nice. Alright. So I think we stopped on the last rounded greenhouse. Let's remember that. The last rounded greenhouse. We need to be careful we don't put the trailer in the drink. There we go. While that's filling, let's take a look at our sheep. So we're going to need to water and feed them. Our productivity is still full. Alrighty. So I made mention a few times, and anyone that caught the very start of the stream, you've probably already seen it because it was on the save game screen. I have made my selection as to what map I am going to do 24-day seasons play on. I'll be putting together a intro video here shortly in the next day or so and put it out on the channel early next week, kind of giving an overview of the map. It is a map I've done a video on. The reasoning that I used to basically select that map and some other things. So I'm a little excited to get on that, but that will be on the back burner until this challenge is over. So I watched Mark DuPont's video today that he put out on this challenge that he's doing. He's doing a recorded version of this challenge because his internet connection just does not facilitate streaming very well. And he's doing massive greenhouse work, and I have to say his latest tactic of using a modded auger wagon to fill the greenhouse is rather ingenious. He's filling the auger wagon with manure from the buy point, and then he's just running around the greenhouses and letting the auger wagon fill them up. I thought that was rather unique and ingenious of an idea. So thankfully we didn't have a whole bunch of snow, so we're still able to drive around fairly well. It could have been far, far worse. Kyle's asking, am I going to stream every day of the 24-day seasons? Probably not. That will probably be a recorded series with maybe some occasional live streams, and that's because I've got pretty limited time that I can actually do a stream or do streams, and I've got a little more time that I could put together to do recordings. But what I was figuring on doing would be kind of a summary episodes where we might have maybe one day per video, or maybe even 2 or 3 days per video, depending on what's going on. I mean, because if we did an episode per video, we would have you know, probably 17, 18 episodes of just me plowing and cultivating fields. Seems pretty boring. I don't know how many people would want to sit through 10 or 15 hours of someone just plowing a field, or multiple fields. Hey country girl, how are you doing? Ed's in chat. Welcome back, Ed. Ed has a interesting comment that snow skis on the front of the tractor would be interesting. Well, you know, if you play the Sweden Geo, you might just want to have some kind of interesting tractor mod where you have skis and a maybe a belt like a snowmobile would. All right, we've gotten that taken care of. Not that it matters. 45.19. We've almost got a full pallet. And we're only 10 hours into our spring. Looks like we're going to have to fill this up with water. I'm doing pretty good, country girl. It's a little warm today. But it's cool inside, that's for sure. There we go. Let's tab into our trains. Again, I'm running the inside camera mod. So when you jump into a vehicle, you get the inside view, regardless of whatever camera view you had before. A mountain bike with a ski on the front. That ought to look awful interesting. Do you, I mean, I guess you still have the wheel in the back. Are you able to get enough traction with the back wheel to do anything with the mountain bike? We have a full pallet already. So at 10 hours, full pallet, basically at 11 hours. So we'd get, we're gonna get 2 full pallets a day out of this. And these guys are sucking up the water now. I think I'm gonna have to put this over by the pond and just leave it over there and fill it up, because if they're gonna take more than a full trailer load of water per every 3 days, we're gonna definitely need to just leave this over here. Still filling. Yep. Alright, I'm going to leave it over here because as soon as the snow melts, we're probably going to have to clean that area. They're showing 100% cleanliness because there's snow there, I think. So it's not recognizing that there's maybe any spilt hay or grass underneath. 3 days till maintenance. Alright, so we were back over here across this field. Across the tracks. There we are. Alright, we don't need that anymore. So let's see here. I don't think we'll earn 1.4 million, but or 140,000, but it'd be interesting if we could do 140,000 today. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's get back in the groove of things. I do like this Ergo a little better than the in-game Scorpion King. That's for sure. Mostly due to its steering, as opposed to its center articulation. Welcome back, Todd the Farm. How are you doing? We'll try not to break traffic like we did the other day. You see we're up to 50 degrees now, air temperature. That ground temperature hasn't changed too much. I guess the snow's insulating it pretty good. But that snow cannot last long with 52-degree air temperature. Hey. That guy hit me. Well, I guess we will break traffic. That's an interesting issue, Todd. I haven't done much multiplay to run into issues like that to give you any advice on troubleshooting that. I would have figured that it wouldn't have been the that wouldn't be something that would be at the server level. I'd have figured that would be at the client level. But if the steering wheel works in single-player play, but not in multiplayer, that is interesting. Were you doing like a multiplay locally hosted, or were you doing multiplay on like a rented multiplay server? So I've hosted multiplayer when I did some Serenity Valley multiplayer episodes with the map author, where I simply picked multiplayer at the game menu, the start menu, and then picked the game save. Of course, he had to have the map and all the mods and whatnot, but basically I was hosting the multiplayer server that way. We got rain coming up. Well, that's for tomorrow, right? We're gonna wait for the train to pass before we, there's our... Snow is gone. That was quick. Alright. Ground's still frozen, but we don't have the snow. And we're getting our sawdust back now. We're going to park this over here. Holy cow. They have piled up the grass, that's for sure. I don't think they're going to be able to, I don't think I'm going to be able to dump all this in here. Nope, I can't dump any of it in there. I'm going to have to put it over here. It's going to rot away, I bet. So I have to say that, yeah, that much grass in that little bucket, that's not very proportionate. I love being able to pick stuff up backwards. It's very convenient. Alright. Yeah, they're clean again. Alright. Might as well pick these up and take them for a ride. Alright, see you later, Henry. Alright, let's unload this and... We got that one log that is crooked. It's messing everything else up. There we go. I know I'm making a mess of it. Actually doing a little bit of that mess on purpose. All right. Let's sell this load. Oh, there's a pretty... We've made a pretty good hurting on that forested area. Yeah, it's pretty funny, Todd, in game where the sheep don't poo in game. They're rather unique animals. They eat, but they don't seem to ever do anything with it. So we're going to need to keep an eye on grass growth since we're back into spring, but this is the first time we've used Seasons 1.1 in spring. Last time we were in spring, we had the original Seasons that apparently had a issue with grass growth during spring. So we'll have to see if we can cut grass sooner than we could last year. And if we can, then we may still be on our goal of 1,000 bales this year, which would put us over $1 million in silage bales. A nice injection of dollars. Oh, did I say those were cows? Did I misspeak and say those were cows at some point? So I think our strategy of coming down out of the hills into more of the flatland as soon as it started to snow, even though we really didn't get more than one layer of snow, I think that was a pretty good strategy. We'll use that same strategy come next winter, should we have a hard winter. And now that we've got our snow gone, we're going to finish picking these logs up and we're going to head back over here to the hills. Simply because the trees are a bit more dense over there. So we should be able to cut the trees with a bit better speed. Also interested if we can fertilize anymore. We can't fertilize until our ground is not frozen anymore. run into me, guy. There we go. Oh, okay. Hi, White Wolf Assassin. How are you? Whoa! Go. It's already 5:35. We will definitely not get $3 million by the end of the day. But I kind of felt that was a little bit of a stretch anyway. No, it's gonna be... Oh, that's awful. Well, we're definitely gonna have to get to that little leaning tree. Guess we'll start our next stack of logs over here. Since there seems to be a fairly nice line of decent sized trees here. Hey Shaky, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. We're in the home stretch. We are in year 3, first day of spring. I'm excited to be 24 episodes away from the end of this grind. Oh no, no, no! What are we doing? Go ahead, stop it. Oh, we made a mess of this one. So we just have to cut it down here. Alright, see you later, country girl. Climbing that hill. There we go. Cut this one here. Oops. Cut one more tree and then we are going to pick this stuff up. I guess we'll go ahead and cut this one while we're here. Shaky wants to know how many trees have we cut down on the map so far. Well, let's take a look after we get this one. $937 trees. Just a few. So I was hoping the frozen ground would go away today. It doesn't appear that it will, because we can't work the ground, which means we can't do a mission if we have frozen ground. What am I spinning on? I guess I've got a piece of wood stuck in there. Really don't like loading trailers in the dark. So we'll just strap this one down and wind our way out of here. See all our nice mounds of sawdust, or wood chips. Yeah, Todd. I'm going to be actually, after I get done this stream, I'm going to be recording my map video for that map. That will probably air next week. Not next week as in next in 2 weeks. I think I've got videos already planned for the next actual calendar week. So I was looking at that map right before this stream. It's a nice little map. It's got, I think there's 8 grass pastures or meadows and 20 some fields. Kind of medium-sized fields. $160 on Mountain Valley with a chainsaw. That's a lot in one day. I think in the stream that I did yesterday on Mountain Valley, I showed that we had cut, or I had cut 385 trees, or 360 some trees off the upper section. I would say probably half of those were cut with that tractor saw, the green one that goes on the front on a 3-point hitch. That's my current favorite way of cutting trees, other than the Scorpion or the Ergo, is to hook that green saw up, and it makes very quick work of a forested area. I just wish there was a tractor way of cutting logs to length. Let's see if we can get one more load of logs sold today. So if you haven't tried the Shaky, if you haven't tried that that winch, that log winch, that is a godsend for doing manual logging work. To be able to hook up a log and use the winch to kind of bring it to you, kind of pull it off of a cliff or bring it up off of a hillside, or to hook a chain up to 3 or 4 or 5 logs and drag them around and get them kind of lined up and situated so you can just run right down them with the chainsaw, cutting them to lengths. That's the only way to play, Todd. Hard mode with seasons. Any other way is just it's just too easy. Slow down before we put this in the river. Oh. And that's on the Klein's Helm map, hard mode with seasons. I got a chuckle when I was looking at that map earlier today. Because if you look, there's a like a building that's kind of like a bus waiting area on the opposite side of the road of the grocery store, which is the buy point for milk and eggs. And on top of the roof of the like the little bus building is a grocery cart that's been tossed up there upside down. So I got a little kick out of that. One of those aesthetic touches that there we go. One of those aesthetic touches that not a lot of people are going to recognize or see playing the map. I plan on pointing it out when I do the video, but you know, it's one of those touches of the map author. You know, it makes little things like that make a big impact to making a map feel real. When I saw it, basically the first thing I thought was prankster kids are pretty much everywhere. Alright, we got an hour, a game hour, to get to the sawmill and back to the farm. We should be able to do that. Not if I hit the buttons. So I haven't seen too many other contestants streaming as of late. I think some of them are maybe taking a little bit of break from the map. We do technically have until November 1st to finish. Although my personal goal is to be done by the end of the first full week in September, which should be something like September 9th or 10th or something. My general personality is one where I just want to get just go ahead and get it over with, as opposed to dragging it out. I do know that it's kind of setting a benchmark for everybody else to have a, okay, well, I'm done. This is the amount I've thrown up there. It's now a target for everyone to shoot for. So my goal is to have as big a target as possible. Alright, so that took 30 minutes to get here from the woods. Alright, we are $30,000 short of $3 million. Not too shabby. So that means we did another $120,000 in wood sales. "13 minutes. We should be able to get back to the farm just in time." Alt N. Oh, there went the rain. All right. Let's pick up our eggs. Let's go check our mound of grass. It's still there. We now have 209 sheep. Let's see how much of this grass we can get rid of before we close out the stream. I want to thank everybody for watching. I encourage you to check out some of the other competitors that are streaming this map. Their channels are in the description below. So that took all that. Let's see here. All right. So let's take a look at our finances. We made $100,000 yesterday. Oh, only $87,000 in sold wood. We've got $27,000 in our greenhouses. Property maintenance, animal upkeep has shot up now that we are in spring, and our running costs are down a little bit. Well, they're back where they were before. I don't know what the deal was with that one. All right, we're going to save here, and we are going to quit out. And again, thank you guys for watching. And today is Saturday. We should be streaming again tomorrow around the same general time frame, where we will start day 2 of spring. So until next time, happy farming.